we have our first quarterback is in a tier all by himself.
Where he should be.
Where he should be, where he probably would like to be.
Exactly right.
That's the way he thinks about himself. So this tier is called Still a GOAT, ? Though. He's not going to like that question mark. Your number 8 quarterback in 2023 in the Chris Simms Top 40 Quarterback Countdown is?
Yes, it is Aaron Rodgers, and he's a GOAT in totality. We know that. This is one of the greatest of all time. Don't get that messed up for a second. Now, is he still greatest of all time caliber right now, 2023? Well, we're going to see this year. Okay, I think my headline, if I had to break down Aaron Rodgers and say one thing to you, Ahmed, or our listeners out there, would be way too conservative for the talent he still has. I don't think anybody in the top 10 left more plays and yards on the field than Aaron Rodgers, right? And I don't like to say that in a derogatory way.
You love Aaron Rodgers.
I love Aaron Rodgers, but I know he's got more. And I think that's the big thing that, when you break him down, it was the worst year of his career. Right?
Worst year of his career.
Worst year of his career. I don't think there's any doubt about that. I don't. I think when you take in mistakes made, some of the stuff surrounding him as a leader, and then, yes, the results on the field and the things I'm talking about with turnovers and inopportune times, missed throws and inopportune times. Just think about your Lions game at the end of the year, right? Yeah. There was 3 or 4 throws where we all went, I've never seen Aaron Rodgers miss those throws in my life, right? I mean, in big moments. It was early third quarter. He missed 2 or 3 guys in a row at one point. So there was a little of that last year, and then a little bit of like what we talked about when we broke them down, where you go, pull the trigger, man. You're Aaron Rodgers. Forget, hey, you're Aaron Rodgers, and I think you can fit the ball into windows that other quarterbacks can't. He was turning down throws where I'm like, no, quarterback number 28 on the list wouldn't turn this down. Come on, we got to do that. So that was the big thing about Aaron Rodgers.
If there's a safety valve in an offensive play, more times than not, he's looking for that.
He got to it so quick. And listen, I get you're an older quarterback. You want to preserve your body. I'm not like harsh to that. Damn, I watched my dad at 38 years old do that. I'm all for it. I get it. Tom Brady, all of that. And we got on Tom Brady and Eli Manning towards the end of his career. I get that. But Rodgers' ability is better than those guys we're talking about at the end of their career. Rodgers' arm is still elite, all right? I'm not going to say it's in maybe some of the guys we're going to get to, like Allen and Mahomes anymore, but it's still an elite arm. He can make game-changing throws. But, yes, to what your point is, Ahmed, it's the turning down of throws or not even letting some plays develop, and for no reason at all. It's one thing if you're Tom Brady or Eli Manning at the end of the career and the pocket's collapsing and we go, man, I'd like him to stay in there and throw that ball down the field and take the shot, but he throws the short throw. Okay, I can deal with that. But there's too many with Rodgers where you go, there's nobody around you. You just took a 5-step drop, and guys haven't even finished their routes, and you're already kicking it out to the back in the flat or whatever. And that's where you just go, why? What are we doing? Come on, you're too good to do that. You're leaving too much on the field. So that's where it was really a little bit, too few and far between with big plays and big throws for Aaron Rodgers with the talent like he has, like I said earlier.
So he was number 5 last year for you, which was the first time that he was ever outside of the top 3. This is how much you've respected him throughout his career. Mm-hmm. So 8 right now is his lowest ranking ever in your list. Pete puts in the narrative around each quarterback for all the quarterbacks here, and the narrative he says coming from Jets fans probably right now is Aaron Rodgers is the savior who will lead us back to the promised land. And then he goes in parentheses until we start 1-3, and then we're all over him. No, but I think that is the idea, and he turns 40 in December, and there has been a regression with his numbers, but he's dedicated again at OTAs. He's showing up there. He's trying to learn, and you're disappointed in him partly because you still think he has the talent and he is not trusting it.
Yes,
my question would be, can he start trusting it in New York? Is there still something there to show an improvement from what we saw last year?
That's where I'm hoping the new team, the microscope, the New York media, the energy is going to push him a little bit in that area, right? He's a little out of his comfort zone. If he keeps throwing the check down to Breece Hall and Michael Carter and Garrett Wilson's open too much, he's in New York. And Joey WFAN's going to call and be like, I saw Garrett Wilson open 74 times over the middle yesterday.
Who knows? Garrett Wilson might say
right.
something.
You're right. The Jets, they all will. Yeah,
yeah,
you're right. They'll be like, well, Rodgers doesn't throw it. Put Zach Wilson back in. But no, I'm hoping that's what that does. A little bit like you heard me before the podcast, right? I talked about that's what happened to Brady a little bit. Brady got to Tampa Bay, and my criticism of Brady was too conservative at the end of the time in New England as well. He got to Tampa Bay. The new energy of the team, the expectations, Bruce Arians not letting him off the hook a little bit, calling him out. Oh, Tom's got to throw those balls down the field. We had people open, right? He said all those type of things. He pushed Brady into a corner to go, okay, I got to start letting it go here, or everybody's going to look at me like I'm letting plays and yards and points on the field too much, right? And he adjusted, and damn, he became one of the best down-the-field throwers in football over the last year and a half. That's where I'm hoping for Rodgers, because to me, one of the things I wrote, it's all about will and want to for him. That's really what it is. Is he willing to make some throws and take some chances in some tight windows and just take a few hits every now and then? Hey, he's still got, like I said, a great arm. He's got the quickest release in football. There's no doubt about it. It's still the quickest release in football. He's the best RPO thrower in the game. Him and Tua, who I mentioned, at the time, nobody can fake a run and sidearm and get it out as quick and as accurate as Aaron Rodgers. He's the most accurate short ball thrower in the game. There's some real value to that. There's no doubt about that, right? What was the other thing? He's still pretty mobile. And the other thing I'd throw onto that too, and why he's 8 for a guy that I'm saying left a lot of points and yards, he's the best field general in football still. There's nobody still at the line of scrimmage that is better at getting his team out of plays, screwing over a defense if they show their hand too early, and doing all the Peyton Manning stuff. Dummy snap counts, change the play, mixing up his snap count to get people jump off sides. He's as good in the sport as anybody, and that's definitely where I give him a ton of credit still.
He had a thumb injury last year.
Yep.
Right? And we saw him holding it a lot of times. I mean, how much do you think last season was injury-related?
I think it was a little of that, a little of not trusting the rookies, and that affected his decision-making. I'm not going to throw it to Watson. He dropped the ball, or I'm not sure he ran the right route, right? I think a little of that all played into it.
Yeah, here are the numbers. So first 5 games, and then it was at the end of that Giants game that he hit it on a helmet.
Hit it on a helmet, exactly right.
Hail Mary. And so the last 12 games, the completion percentage went down. The touchdown to interception ratio was worse. Rating went down. So the numbers do go down a little bit, but who knows? It's tough to isolate how much of that was injury and how much he was feeling that, and how much it was just
I don't know with him sometimes. He re-aggravated it in the Cowboys game and threw darts all over the football field, and it looked fine. Yeah. And then he's got another game that's not good, and then it's a problem. So I don't know what to believe there. I'm sure it affected him to a degree. I don't doubt that. I'm sure there was some grip issues, and within those grip issues at times, did that probably affect decisions where he's like, oh, I'd like to throw that, but I don't trust my control in the ball. I don't want to question that stuff, but I'm hoping we can see the guy get back to what we saw the years before that, which is, a little more flamethrower, a little bit more, hey, it's okay to throw an interception. It's okay. We need explosive plays, and this is a team they got explosive players. And, of course, in this conference where I just go, this is a conference, you can't be conservative in, as we've talked about so many times, right? Yep. I mean, there's a reason Burrow and Allen Mahomes are in the Final Four every year here, because we're going down swinging. We're going to throw flamethrowers everywhere, and we're never going to be out of a game. And that's where I hope he can get to. The thing that, I talked about the conservative nature, and, you go back, watch games. You can't, there's too many games, too, within that where, hey, there's 3 receivers to the left. The concept's good. The coverage is right for this concept. Throw the in cut. And there's just an unwilling to do that. There's an unwillingness to be aggressive unless it was a one-on-one shot. And I know we said that during the season a lot. And I just hope he can change that. And hopefully, the Jets can push him down that road as well.
And you saw it again in tape when you looked at it again, and you're like, the same thing.
Same type of thing. Same type of things. And then, but just what made it worse, I think, watching it again this time around, right, is you just go, gosh damn, there's still so many good damn throws where you just go, holy shit, laser rifle off his back foot across the field, drops it in a bucket. And you're just like, come on, Come on, now the pocket's clean and there's a guy open for 20 and we don't throw it. Like what? So that's where it was frustrating because when you watch it, you still go, woo.
Yeah.
My man can still throw the rock all over the field however he wants. And hopefully now he can just, like he's kind of saying everything else, right? Hopefully he can just kind of say that on the football field a bit. Like, throw 45 touchdowns. I might throw 18 interceptions. Going to win the game. That's what I want from Aaron Rodgers this year.
Well, and maybe, who knows, maybe he'll add another dimension to his game because I think we have some video of him running and scampering around in OTAs. Look at this.
He did this, right.
He's running to the right. No, you know what? No one open, pump fake, touchdown.
Hey, he can still move. He can. I mean, he's still quick in the pocket. You know, you turn on games and watch him, and you go, hey, he can still tuck it and run. You know, it doesn't matter who it is. You know, so that you can't just go downfield and go, oh, we're going to drop 8 guys and cover. Aaron Rodgers will tuck the ball and run for 15 yards up the middle. All right. Now, he did pull his calf muscle the next day and more.
No,
muffs,
he did.
Right?
He did?
He did.
Oh.
Right. So, yes.
And
a lot of people looked at this and went, this might be the play that started it all.
And will he do that when the defenders are not wearing shorts and no shoulder pads? That's the question, too.
That is the
right?
question. Right.
Look
he's
cool,
got
though, for that.
No chin strap, buckle, typical Aaron Rodgers stuff. But still, still the field general, still a special arm, and still has, I don't care what anybody says, and you've seen it already. I'm not saying anything you don't know, or really I think anybody, he still has the magic that when he walks in the locker room, team goes, we can win. We're going to win today. We're going to win today. We got Rodgers. And there's something to that for sure.
There is debate out there whether this ultimately will be a good trade for the Jets. And so what the trade was they swapped those first round picks this year. They moved down a couple spots, the Jets did, gave up that 13th overall pick, and maybe that did come back to bite them because there's some rumors out there that they had their eyes on an offensive tackle, and a lot of them went off the board. Broderick Jones is the name that Pete gives me. Gave up a second rounder. They've got a conditional second rounder next year, where he plays 65% of snaps, that becomes a first-rounder, whether he retires or not, I guess, maybe. So it's like
that's where I did not like that part of that deal. That's where I didn't understand why the Jets agreed to that. Like, the Packers weren't going to keep him. Rodgers he was going to have to be a little ugly and put pressure on him. But that's the one part of the Jets trade where I go, I don't like that part of it.
So what needs to happen for the Jets for this to be worth it? How far do they have to go this year or next year?
I mean, I just start with the playoffs. That's where my expectations are not going to be like too crazy or unrealistic because of all that we've talked about. For all the things that you've heard me tell the guys at the gym and what I had to tell, 25 men this weekend in New Jersey. Hey, Simms, how the Jets going to be this year?
Yeah.
Right? And, of course, I always have fun and go, why'd you pick that team? You should have just picked the Giants. Life would have been better. I mean, you just would have been way easier. And they all laugh. But, yeah, everybody wants to know that. But my standard line is the AFC is as good as I've ever seen. The AFC East is as good as I've ever seen. The Jets will be better than last year.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to translate to a definite playoff appearance.
I mean, they were almost in the playoffs without him last year.
And I would think they get there. I mean, if you made me bet, I would bet they get there. I think their team is certainly that caliber, but some things got to happen here.
There's some Patriots fans in our building that think that will never happen.
That's okay.
Our boss specifically.
Yeah, that's all right. Well, we didn't think the Patriots would ever win anything for about 90 years either. So
So if Aaron Rodgers just even has an average year, like an average Aaron Rodgers year, apparently he will break many of the Jets' franchise records.
It's crazy.
For a season. So his last 5 years, attempts are like 550. The franchise record is Vinny Testaverde in 2000, 590 completions. Basically just what Aaron has been over the last 5 years, although that does include 2 MVP years. Let's not forget that, even though he might have had a little bit of a down year last year. This is probably the best quarterback that the Jets potentially have ever seen for one season.
Well, listen, he's you can put him on a lot of teams and go, this is the best quarterback this team's ever seen.
That's true.
He for me is, again, he's in the special elite class of Brady, Manning, Elway, Favre, Marino. This is an all-time great. It's amazing. I expect a bounce back year for sure for all the things that we talked about, let alone their talent and the pressure of the situation and all that. It's also amazing there just to look at that and go, damn, nobody's thrown for more than 4,007 yards in the Jets organization since Joe Namath in 67.
I know.
Right? It really
that is crazy. That
is crazy.
In this era where it seems like even like an average quarterback now because they're throwing the ball
gets to
so much.
4,000 yards,
yes.
right? I know. It is amazing. But nonetheless, yes, I think they're a playoff caliber team. I'd be shocked if he doesn't play better football, and I'd be shocked if he's not a little more aggressive in how he plays this year as well.
In his own tier, still a GOAT question mark.
Yep.
The only other quarterback that you had in their own tier, do you know who that was? Jordan Love, his replacement
hilarious.
In Green Bay. And Romeo Dobbs said this recently on Jordan Love. He goes, I think Jordan is a really good quarterback when you go from Aaron Rodgers to Jordan. Aaron was a really great quarterback, but I believe Jordan can do the exact same thing. So I don't really see what the big difference is, Dobbs added.
Well, Dobbs, dang is right. That's where... Aaron. He also said that, like, hey, I learned a lot from Aaron Rodgers, even though he never really talked to me. That's what he said, right? So, I think that said a little too. There's a little bit of, a bitterness or a relief probably from some of those young guys that he's not there and, over scrutinizing them. He also is coming off a year where he saw Rodgers have his worst year, so he's going, wait, this guy could do that too.
That's true,
right? So I think there's a little of that, a little of probably a little bit of bitterness in how things went. But I'm certainly not ready to say Jordan Love's going to be Aaron Rodgers quite yet. Yeah. But I think that's what happens when you leave and not everybody loves you, not everything's on good terms.
Has Romeo Dobbs talked to Aaron Rodgers as much as I have talked to Albert Pujols? Who do you think has talked to the other person more? I mean, it might be close.
You might have passed them up this weekend.
Might be close.
Yo, thanks for watching, homies. It's the off season, but there's no off season for us here at Unbuttoned. Me, Ahmed Fareed, we're going to hit all the stories. So hit subscribe for us, okay? We got a ton coming up. My draft prospect rankings, my Simms top 40 quarterback countdown, and videos of me and NFL QBs playing catch and talking about their development and mechanics. Again, thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe. Peace out, homies. See you soon.